There's no Facebook Live today. It's just a recording because today like most Thursdays, I'm at work at Bunyad Marketplace in Lidditz. Hey, if you've not been there, it's a very cool fair trade marketplace. I'm passionate about fair trade, so I go down one day a week and work for them. So come visit sometime. But I wanted to record your episode for today. So yesterday we talked about great expectations, how we have often unrealistic expectations for events. And so I want to spend some time talking about some things that have to do with the holidays and unrealistic expectations. And so today is a really big one. It's holiday family harmony, where we're all going to get together. It is probably the scariest holiday expectation of all. You know, we want everyone to get along. We want everything to be pleasant and the children to be kind and the adults to be kind and loving. Yeah, it's time to say no to that expectation right now, because it's never going to happen, at least not in the way we expect it or envision it, because we are imperfect, frankly, selfish people who will be forced to spend time with people we may not even like. You know, they're not the family we chose, they're the family we inherited, right? And so it's time to think through that, because on top of that, there are things like holiday prep and holiday travel that often launch us into an event tired and irritable and without our normal comforts and routines. So how can we set up more realistic expectations for ourselves and for our families? I'm going to give you 6 ideas for that. The first one is this: set some limits. We're going to talk about the limit setting a little later in November, but make sure you have limits to go for your family, for your events, for the things you're going to do. The second one, and this has to do with, these all play into that, is to break some traditions. Really think through with yourself and your family about which of the plans or traditions that just don't bring you joy. In fact, that maybe destroy the joy because it's such awfulness every time. Now, we're going to talk another day, tomorrow actually, about dealing with other people's expectations that would happen if you break some traditions, but that's for tomorrow. But think through that, and maybe it's time to break some traditions because they just don't serve your purpose and your family well. The next one is, the suggestion, number 3, is to offer an opt-out. This is kind of like a get out of event free card. Maybe one for each family member for the holiday season that says, you can, with no guilt, have a pass on that dessert at Uncle Charlie's, or have a pass at going to walk through the winter wonderland. The good thing about something like that is you're not forcing someone to do something that they hate, which makes, you know, I realized years ago, my husband hates crowds. So to force him or push him or cajole him or beg him to go with me to an event that is crowded ends up making both of us miserable. So think through the possibility of having a family meeting and say everybody gets one pass that they can use, and they can book out of that event, no guilt added, and then we'll all be happy. Maybe the people whose house you were going to go to won't be happy, but you can all enjoy the holiday. Another one is, if you have to go to things, is to have the go signal. What is it if you haven't prearranged a time to leave a holiday gathering? What is the family signal that you will use for when things go south? Because probably they will at some point. So what is that signal that means it's time to head out? You can make this fun. You can make it as obscure as possible. You can make it to see if you can trick people with your catchphrase that you're saying to one another. Now, if you are the host of an event, you're going to have to be blunter. Basically, you're going to say, okay, thanks for coming. I'll go get your coats. The fifth thing, and this is really helpful, is to determine to laugh. When I was a teen, the first Christmas we had after my brothers and I all went off to college, the first Christmas after that, well, we had all gone to Christian colleges that had different theological persuasions. And so we spent Christmas dinner arguing theology. Enough that my very stoic mother, who never cried because she was so upset that and she said, I just wanted to have a nice Christmas. And then my father, who usually didn't, give us many firm rules, said, no more talking theology at the table. Well, as soon as we all sat back down, my brother Bob, who is the kind of jokester, you might say, of the crowd, immediately started in with a catchphrase that would get us all going. Well, you know what? Now we laugh about that. That is the catchphrase that we use still to this day to talk about how family holidays can be kind of ruined by our expectations that things will have perfect harmony. And that leads to the last point, which is number 6, and that is remind yourself that you're expecting the impossible if you're expecting perfect family harmony. And then say no to that expectation and relax. My husband Les, when he does weddings, he's a minister, and when he does weddings, will often tell wedding parties, something will probably go wrong. All I can tell you is you're making memories. And so that's become one of our phrases. We're making memories because honestly, those things that go wrong, those are the things that you remember for years ahead. So just relax, determine to laugh about it, and to move on. Hey, have a great day, and tomorrow we'll be back to talk about our relatives' expectations.